All right, now it's time for your home evaluation training. And let me tell you something. If I was to give you advice on anything, here's what I'm going to tell you. The most important parts of your entire home safety meeting is the alarm kill and this part, the home evaluation. You have to do a really good home evaluation, and it's not hard at all. You're going to have this sheet to follow. The home evaluation sheet is really, really, really simple. If I was showing you the home evaluation sheet, you're going to basically follow these questions in the rooms that you go through. Then you're going to recommend the locations for smoke sensors. You don't need to memorize where all these alarms go. It tells you on the sheet. Recommend the locations for smoke sensors. Recommend the locations for heat sensors. Recommend the locations for CO sensors. Recommend the locations for water sensors. It's that easy. So what sensor goes in a bedroom? It tells you right there, there's your bedroom, that's a smoke sensor. What about your hallway? That's a smoke sensor. What about the living room? That's a smoke sensor. What about your basement? Finished basements is a smoke sensor. Now down here, recommend the location for heat sensors. The kitchen, the garage, the attic, that's a heat sensor. Unfinished basement, heat sensor. Utility room, heat sensor. What about crawl space? If there's a crawl space, heat sensor. Now what about up here? Recommend a location for CO sensors. Upper level, main level, lower level. Every level of your home is a CO sensor. What about your water sensors? You got your bathroom sinks, you got your toilets, you got your washing machine, your water heater, your kitchen sink, your dishwasher, your fridge, HVAC. All those places, any place that you can have a water leak, that's where they go. Down here, you total them up. Life-saving sensors would be your smoke, heats, and COs all added up into one number. It goes right there, and then you put your water sensors right there. And then you're able to give a price at the close, okay? So with that being said, how do you do a home evaluation? Here we go. Okay, the first thing you got to do is you got to get up from that kitchen table. So when you get up from that kitchen table, it sounds like this. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I've shown you everything you need to know about the sensors except for where they go and how you can get them. So if you take me for a short walk through your home, I'll show you how you get them. And if you ever do decide to get the protection, how to get them too. We always start in the master bedroom first. You lead the way and I'll follow. Let's go. Where's your master bedroom at? So that's when you stand up and you take action. Nowhere in there should you say, can we walk around your house and look at every room? Do you care if we walk around your house? Would you like me to walk around your house? Nowhere are we going to say that. We're going to say, you lead the way and I'll follow. And it's in your iPad presentation. So now I'm in the master bedroom. What do I say? The questions are right there. All I got to do is follow those questions. If I follow those questions, I'm going to win. If I don't follow those questions, I'm going to lose. I need to win. So I'm going to ask these questions. First question I'm going to ask you is this. What can start a fire in this room? It's the first question on the sheet. All right? Now, Rob, me and you're going to role play again, buddy. What can start a fire in your bedroom, Rob?
Candle.
Yep, candle. Okay. Victoria's Secret, that start fire too, Rob? I'm just kidding. All right, let's keep going. So you got your TV, you got your light switches, you got your lights on the ceiling, you got your cell phone charger. You charge your cell phone beside the bed? You do? Very good. You don't? Where you charge your cell phone at?
In another room.
Dude, you one of the few, the proud, dude. Well, good for you. Okay, now here's the question. Who does this fire affect first? If you had a fire in your bedroom, Rob, okay, at 3 o'clock in the morning, who does this fire in this room affect?
My wife and I.
It affects you and your wife, okay? Now, how does it affect you and your wife?
We have to get out.
Yeah, so here's how it affects you. It's taking oxygen from your body, okay, because it's eating up the oxygen in your room where you're at, okay? The smoke doesn't need to go into your lungs to hurt you. It's just eating up the oxygen, okay? That's number one. The second thing that it's doing is it's impacting your escape plan. So if you have a fire in here, you know, it's not that simple to just go out the window or go out the door. We'll explain that to you in a minute. When do you want to know about that fire, Rob? Right away?
Immediately.
Yeah, and why do you want to know about it immediately?
So I can get to safety.
Yeah, get you and your wife out. Okay. Well, I want to tell you about who it affects first. It doesn't just affect you and your wife. It also affects your kids and your grandkids. Okay? Here's how it does. Let's say that your kids are all the way on the other side of this house. They're outside this door. They're on the other side. Okay? Let's say, give me just one name of your kids. Give me a grandkid's name.
Brindley.
Okay, Brindley. Let's say Brindley's all the way on the other side of the house and Brindley's asleep. And you and your wife are sleeping in here. Fire's in this room. Brindley's oxygen is leaving her bedroom and her body and coming to the what? It's coming to the fire. Does that make sense? Yes. Because wherever the fire's at, it's drawing oxygen from Brindley's body, drawing oxygen from you and your wife's body. So that's how it works. So now, I'm going to ask you the question the second time. Who does this fire affect in this house? Everybody. Okay? Now, that's what you've got to do as a safety advisor. That customer needs to know that it's pulling oxygen from everybody. Okay? That is very important because if you make sure they all understand that, there's a reason why we put sensors in every room. Why do we put sensors in every room? Because if a fire happens in that room, it's drawing oxygen away from the bodies wherever they're at in this house. We don't want nobody having a house fire, and we don't want nobody dying in a house fire. But if we put sensors in every room, that gives them their best chance to escape rapidly from this house fire with oxygen where they can stand up and walk at them with their own power. Does that make sense? Of course it does. All right. So all we're going to do is follow this script. So who do you want? When you want to know about that fire? He said right away. He said why? Get them out. We talk about the oxygen. What's the next thing? If you have the same alarm they talked about in that video, Rob, how long did it take to go off? Well, it takes 30 minutes or more. Sometimes it don't go off at all. It even says that it may not go off. So, Rob, here's a question for you. If it takes 30 minutes for your alarms to go off, what are your chances? Slim to none. So, Rob, how important is it to put something in here for you and your wife and your kids and your grandkids? Very important. Rob, I can tell how much you love your family. We'll put your OmniShield smoke sensor right there. And I just take the laser pointer. Always carry a laser pointer with you on the home evaluation. And just take it and just point it to where you're going to put it. Now, do we put the smoke sensors on the wall or do we put it on the ceilings? We put it on the ceilings. Why do we put it on the ceilings? Because where does heat and smoke go? Heat and smoke goes up. So we always put it on the ceilings in front of the doorways in the bedrooms because fire looks for the path of least resistance and it's always going to attack doorways. That's just what fires do. Now, here's something you need to know about this right here. This is called a door break, a fire break. Fire breaks are a problem in house fires. Why? Because if a fire happens in this room, it has to fill up every square inch of this ceiling. Every square inch of this ceiling. The smoke has to hit that wall, has to hit that wall, has to hit that wall, has to hit that wall. Now look at the ceiling right here. It's going to work its way down with smoke. When it fills every square inch of the ceiling, then it's going to start working its way down. Like an upside down bathtub full of water, except your room's full of smoke, until it gets right about there. And then it's going to leak under and go into the next room if the door is open. If the door is not open, it'll keep going down, filling the room up with smoke. The entire time that's happening, there's a few things that's taking place for you. Number one, it's eating the oxygen up in your house. And number two, it's going to get so bad that when you finally do wake up, it's a disaster. So now, what I want to talk to you about now is what does it look like when you wake up to a house fire that's been going for several minutes? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. We don't even want to think about it, but we do need to talk about it. Okay, so if you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning in a house fire, what's the first thing you're going to do? Rob, and me and you're going to role play again because you've never seen this before in your life. Rob, you woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and it's a real house fire. What's the first thing you're going to do?
Put on some clothes.
Okay, put on some clothes. That's awesome. I love it, man. All right. So the first thing you're going to do in a house fire is you're going to put on some clothes. Okay. The real first thing you're going to do in a house fire is you're going to open your eyes. Okay. So you're going to go just like this. You're going to open your eyes, and then if there's a real house fire, it don't look like this. It's black, oily, dirty, sooty smoke. So now if you had that kind of smoke get in your eyes, what are you going to do? You're going to close them, and then you're going to start doing this. You can't see. Okay. So now you've been compromised. Now you can't see good at all, if any. Okay. You're going to take a deep breath too because you breathe, right? So you go, and then you're going to breathe that smoke and you're going to start choking, coughing, and hacking. Now you can't see and you can't breathe. Okay? Now you're going to get up to do what you do. You're either going to put on some clothes or you're going to just get out. you're probably just going to try to get out of this place because you're panicking, okay? So as you get up, you're going to go to your door, and you're going to grab the handle. So, Rob, if you opened your door in a real house fire that's really chaotic and bad, if you open that door, that could be a problem. Why? What could it do? What would it do to the fire?
Does it come toward you?
It's going to spread it because it's opening and feeding it with air, okay? So you can't go through your bedroom door because it's bad. All right, Rob, what if you went over to your window? Let's say this is a window, and it's not, but let's say it is. Let's say that you opened up your bedroom. Well, you got a window in your bedroom, right? Yes. You open up your bedroom window, what would it do to the fire? It's going to feed it more air, right? So you can't go out your window, and you can't go out your door. So what are you going to do? If you can't go out your window and can't go out your door, Rob, what would you do next?
That's my only two options.
Yeah. So what would you do? Can you think of anything?
No.
All right. So if you can't go out your window, you can't go out your door, then you're out of options. So the question is, wouldn't you rather wake up to this kind of atmosphere where you can see and you can breathe and you can get up and get you, your kids, your grandkids, your wife, your pets, everybody out of the house safely? That's what you really want. And as a safety advisor, your job is to make that clear to them. It takes away your escape plans. It takes away your oxygen, and it can take away everything that you love. Your job is to do that on your walkthrough. In every room of the house, lay it on as thick as you can and make sure it's completely understandable. Now, the question I get asked all the time, David, do I need to do this in every room? No. The second, you want to make sure, here's when you know that you can cut it a little shorter. When you get to the second question, it says, what can start a fire in this room? And they answer it. Second question is, who does this fire affect first? When they say these words, everybody, now you know that they understand that it's pulling oxygen no matter where it's at. You can start cutting it a little short. And then you can say, okay, we'll take and put a heat sensor in this room. We put a smoke sensor in this room. Do not forget to mark your sheet. Don't forget to mark your sheet. So, last thing I'm going to train you, okay, is how to mark your sheet. All you're going to do is you're going to go, for bedrooms, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, and you're going to put a 3 here on the total side. Does that make sense? 1, 2 hallways, put a 2 right there. 1 or 2 living rooms, put a 1 or a 2 there. And then you're going to total up your smoke sensor and put a total right here. Same thing for your heats. You got 1 kitchen, you got 1 garage, you got 1 attic, 1, 1, 1, and put a 3 there. Now, you're going to fill this all the way out, and then you're going to put your totals down here. And then you go back to the table and you're ready for the close. Okay, now, the last thing, I said that a second ago, but I am going to say last thing one more time. Last thing I want you to remember is this. On your walkthrough, it's all about them, it ain't about you. I want you to treat them as if they really had a fire in their house. I want you to treat them the way it would look like and the way it would sound like the night they have a fire. They need to kind of visually see that. Your job is to build a fire and explain that to them. Escape plans and oxygen, and you're good to go. I think we've covered everything. You're ready to go now.